Guys, how you doing? I hope everything is well. Everything is good with me, y'all. Taking it easy. You know, I've been going at the hospital for a while, so I'm coming back. But anyway, y'all, I want to talk about I did this story like 10 days ago about the Marcy Correctional Facility. I'm glad. Excuse me, y'all. I'm glad it's getting the attention that it needs because we are really sick of this here. We are sick of it. It is just so out of control, out of hand, where they're treating black men and black women and brown like animals, like we are animals, and I can't even imagine in my heart and in my eyes to see what I see because it's so degrading and I don't understand, what part of this here that we have to march on to get justice for what these men, these here so-called correctional officers did to this young man. You know what I'm saying? And we see it in 4K. That is so obnoxious. I don't know from the lenses of other people's eyes, but I know the lenses of my eyes. It is very, very disturbing to me. And it's happening often. It's happening often. What is up with y'all? What's in your brain that you feel like you can do us like this? It's just crazy, y'all. We're gonna get back into it. Like I said, I did this 10 days ago, and I'm about to do it again because I want it to be everywhere, everywhere. Fatal beating of black man inmate at New York prison sparks outrage. Yeah, you think? Of course, it's gonna spark outrage. Excuse me, y'all. Let me just prop this up because I want this to fall on my leg. My leg is messed up. Yeah. Okay. They say here's what we know. Protesters in New York gathered Monday and at separate demonstrations in Manhattan and Albany, holding up signs reading "Black Lives Matter" and "Justice for Robert Brookes." After days after a disturbing video of a black man inmate fatally beating at the hands of correctional officers was released, Robert Brookes, a 43-year-old man serving 12 years sentence for assault, passed away in the early hours of December 10th after he was beaten by at least three officers at Marcy Correctional Facility, an all-male prison in North Albany. His death had enraged people across the country, of course, along with inmates related and activists, one whom called the incident a symptom of a decade-long incrimination system, discrimination system, designed to the people it takes and put behind the walls. It this isn't just about Robert Brookes, Jamaica Mills, the co-founder of All of Us, an anti-racist organization based in Schenectady, told the news. There are family members standing with us right now whose loved ones are in the same prison. The FBI and the U.S. Department of Justice are reviewing the case, and the New York Attorney General Office Special Investigation have launched an investigation into Brooks' death. Authorities have not released a cause of death for Brooks. We know the cause of death. He was beaten to death. Okay, we've seen it with our own eyes. See what I'm saying? They play these mind games with us. They make it seem like they didn't see what we see. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get that. That's the part that be pissing me off. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't see what we see. New York Governor Kathy Hochul had said she was outraged and horrified by Brooks' senseless killing, and announced that there would be appointed a new superintendent at Marcy's correction facility, and expedited 400 million and install fixed cameras and distribute body worn cameras at all departments of correction and community services facilities. Hochul directed Correction Agent Commissioner Daniel to appoint Barney Trops as the new permanent supervisor of Marcy Correctional Facility. Her office said Thorpe's now supervisor of Shankwit Correctional Facility in the Hudson Valley, has over 20 years of experience in corrections and and is a career DOCCS employee. Has never served at Marcy or nearby facility. Given his given his experts and fresh perspective on what may be done, the Democrats office said. Here's what we know. See, now I'm going to finish reading it, but see, this is what I'm saying. You know, they take measures like this, saying that, oh, we're going to get this person out and put another person in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much stuff that happened there that this happened to be a really high profile. You know what I'm saying? Really high profile. But it was others that happened there too at Marcy Corrections. You know what I'm saying? So now everybody want to jump on the bandwagon. Oh, we're going to send this money. We're going to make sure they have body cam. Body cam been out for many, many years. So why didn't have any body cam? Why didn't have any body cam? Brooke, okay, they said what the video shows. Brooks was transferred from Mohawk Correctional Facility to Marcy Correctional Facility on the morning of December 9th, according to the New York Attorney General Letitia James, a Democrat, who released footage of the beating Friday. The A video, dated from the evening of December 9th and reviewed by CNN, was taken from body-worn cameras on 4 different officers. They began with Brooks face down with his hands cuffed behind his back, being carried into a medical examining room by 3 officers. It is unclear what led up to this moment. One officer appeared to shove a white material in Brooks' mouth. Really? Shove something down his throat so you can't hear him scream, or he could throw up and drown in his own vomit. You want somebody to do that to your family? To you? The officer then repeatedly punched Brooks in the face, while another officer punched him in the groin. One officer is seen striking Brooks with a shoe. The 2 officers then pulled Brooks to a seat upright position at the edge of an examining table. One of the officers, holding Brooks by his throat and by his neck, began lying him flat on his back. Another officer then put his foot on Brooks' lower torso, while another officer hit him from behind, again in his chest. The officer who struck Brooks with his leg is seen restraining Brooks' legs before punching him in the buttocks approximately 3 times. He and another officer appeared to yank Brooks up from the edge of the examining table once again, and his face visibly bloody. Brooks appeared in a speech. Brooks appeared to speak before an officer punched him in the chest again. 2 officers then grabbed Brooks by the collar and the shirt and shoulder area, picking him off the table before forcing him to the back right corner of a room, holding him against the wall and other officers on. Minutes later, one of the officers gave Brooks a thermal rub, a technical used to assess if a person is conscious. Another officer pulled off what appeared to be Brooks' green inmate uniform. The hell was y'all trying to do? Y'all pulled off his uniform. What the fuck? What y'all doing right now? Like, and another officer pulled off what appeared to be Brooks' green inmate uniform. The footage ended when Brooks no longer handcuffed, lying on the table, motionless in his underwear. Y'all stripped this poor, after y'all beat this poor man to death, y'all had the nerve to strip him down to his undies. Are you dumb? Are you crazy? If something don't happen out of this here, something is wrong with us. Like, for real. These cops are demented. They need to go and get charged. F getting fired. You need to get charged. Charged. You have to be held accountable for what you did to this man. This is just unacceptable. You stripped him down to his drawers and just left him there? The hell more you want to do? You humiliated him the whole time. You beating the hell out of him. The Department of Corrections named 14 staff connected to Brookes' death. As of December 31st, none of the officers has been charged with wrongdoing. Of course not. CNN has not able to confirm the specific identities of the officers shown in the video, or what role each named person is alleged to have had. The Correctional Officer Union, which typically speaks in behalf of prison employees, issued a statement and described the footage as incomprehensible, to say the least. Okay? I was wondering what they was going to say. They would say some dumbass shit, and certainly not reflect of the great work that the vast majority of our membership conduct every day. Phooey. CNN had reached out to the named officer for comments. None of the officers or their representative had comment since the video came to light. At least 3 of the officers involved in Brookes' beating was previously accused of assault in view of the court documents obtained. Sergeant Glenn and Officer Anthony was named in the complaint filed in federal court in 2022 based on the 2020 incident at Marcy Prison. Still there. Right? And it's going on 25. No, it is 2025. What am I talking about? The complaint alleged another correction officer beaten and handcuffed inmates at the correction facility. Tarbally and Fratrina looked on and failed to intervene in any manner to prevent or stop the beating. Of course they're not. Leave the plaintiff with permanent facial deformity that caused that the case is pending. They should be in jail, like, for real. These cops, you know what? That's what they do. Swap them out. Swap them out. The prisoners, swap their asses out. Swap them inside. You know, forget all that. Swap. You easy to lock a black, brown man up. Swap their behinds up in there. The plaintiff attorney told the news, it is offered policy not to comment on pending cases. Farina resigned from the role of the Marcy Correctional Facility after Brookes. I bet you did. And see, they should not let him resign. No, you're getting fired. You're losing your pension. You're losing everything. See, they let them get away with that shit. I told you, not having them be held accountable for what they do. Now, he could resign and get all his benefits. No, fire him. A different officer, Nichols, who was named by the department, is also named in a separate federal complaint in 2022. Stats, he joined an assault on an inmate by another correction officer at the same facility. The complaint alleged that the officer was involved in a cover-up, fabricating disciplining charges against the inmate, who was left with substantial physical and mental injuries. The case is ongoing, of course. The inmate was brutally assaulted in 2020 at Marcy CF, the same prison where Robert Brookes was just murdered. One of the same correction officers, the inmate attorney Kate Rosenfield, told her client thought he would die that day, and an officer punched and kicked him into a bloody heap The officer then lied, lied to cover up the beating. Rosenberg's statement said, the DOCCS, Department of Corrections, you know what that is, had done everything about the officer at Marcy's, who is known was routinely terrorizing, incriminating people. Mr. Brooks would still be alive today, Rosenberg said. Y'all mouth is dry, sorry. Y'all, I'm recovering, y'all. Okay, 2022 Watchdog Report calls. A 2022 reports about Marcy from the Correction Association of New York, which is provided independent outside of prisoners in the state, note multiple problems at the facility, including allegations of physical assault by staff inmates and allegations of racial discrimination. Around 80% of the inmates surveyed in the report said they have seen to be subjected to verbal, physical, or sexual abuse by staff. What? Oh, they had a control there. Yeah, they gotta go. They gotta clean house. They probably married too. Tell them all. Tell on all of them. Inmates reported experiencing seemingly random assaults from the staff, as well as target attacks. Melt out a punish that report found. In a statement at the time, the organization executive director Jennifer said a number of issues at Marcy's troubled us during a monitoring visit, including pervert allegations of racial discrimination, mistreatment by staff, and non-adhesive to require of halt. The humane alternative to long-term survival. The report recommends the Office of Special Investigations and Inspection General investigated the widespread. Sorry, y'all. I'm dry as hell. Widespread claim of abuse at Marcy. The Department of Corrections and Community Supervisor told the news in a statement that they have addressed or are in the procedure of addressing the majority of the recommendations contained in the 2020 CAN report on Marcy's Correction Facility. The New York Office of Inspection General investigates and took action following the release of the CANY report. The spokesman for the office told the news. Cities in Confidential is revealing any active investigation. The office had responded to CANY briefing in the recent public report and the misapplication of drug testing, the unconscionable of racial discrimination infraction, and the implement of halt legislation intends to limit the use of solitary confinement. The Inspector General Office visit New York's 42 prisons training sessions for correctional staff and held quarterly meetings with CANY. Every specified allegations from the incrimination New Yorkers. Correction staff and CANY also thoroughly and timely reviewed by the leadership. This is crazy, y'all. How to experts are responding. It seems possible Brooks sustained a fatal spinal cord injury, which officer had lifted from the table by the shirt. Dr. Jeremiah, an emergency physician at Birmingham and Women's Hospital, and an associated profession at the Harvard Medical School. My jaw hit the floor when I saw it, because it looks like just enough force to enough force in the right direction to do damage. Although Brooks was previously alerted, he did not seem to move or react to stimulus after officers picked him up. The way the officer lifted Brooks, hyper, hypertension, his neck, they could have caused a devastating spinal cord injury, the result of which would be immediate or almost immediate paralyzed of the body, including the respiratory muscle. Brooks appeared to be a complaint and was not posing a threat when officers was using force against him, which is considered excessive by standard police protocol. One law enforcement expert told the news. Just because someone is handcuffed does not mean they cannot be subjected to force. However, and this is a big however, if someone is no longer a direct threat to the officer and is complying with the instructions, it would be certain be excessive to strike them, choke them. Peterson said potential excessive use of force is evidence in the video, which when officers are cleaning blood off Mr. Brooks' face, then begin to strike him and continue to strike and grab him from next 30 seconds, Peterson said. The U.S. Supreme Court ruling in 1992 set the standards for police use of force, and Peterson who was part of the team, then later did the first evaluation of the correctional body camera program at the jail in Loudoun County, Virginia. The ruling establishment force is only justified what is used to maintain or establish discipline, he said. Peterson said the knowledgeable from the footage of Brooks' incident that he was already injured would have first appeared in the video, and the investigation will need to determine whether the injuries were from a prior use of force by correctional officers or by inmates. Don't even try it, y'all. Don't try to put it on the inmate. Don't even try to, well, no, y'all. But anyway, y'all, I had did this story like 10 days ago, a week ago, something like about 10 days ago, and I'm glad it's getting the light that it needs, because this is just too much right now. I swear to God, this here is just a lot. This is a lot, y'all. I don't even know what to say. This is a lot on anybody. You know, I wouldn't want nobody family to go through this. And I want everybody just to reach out and, you know, get the word out, because this ain't it, y'all. This is just getting worse and worse. This is getting worse and worse. All right, y'all. Y'all hit that like button and subscribe. I don't have a video. I do have a video, but I don't want to put a video out because I'm, you know, I just came home. I don't want to be so depressed watching this here. So, y'all, that was the story of Brooks, Robert Brookes. And like I said, I did the story 10 days ago. If you want to go back, you can watch it. But this is just so sad. We need to, like, wake up. We got to wake up, y'all. All right, y'all. Peace.